Let's talk today about picking a lender. A lot of people, when they go to get a mortgage, think, well, I'm just going to talk to the person at my bank. Like they have already got all my information, I'll just talk to them. And that's not always the best choice. You want to shop around for a mortgage. Don't just call one person and them give you a rate, closing cost, an estimated time that it'll take to get it done, and say, well, this is just what they said. Like, you need to shop. This is the biggest purchasing decision you're going to make in your lifetime. And, I know when people car shop, a lot of times they're going to call 2 or 3 places about getting a loan for their car. So you definitely need to do the same thing when you're shopping for a mortgage. Well, I've heard people say, well, I know every time I get my credit pulled, that dings my credit. Well, when you get your credit pulled by a mortgage company, the credit bureaus recognize that. And they also recognize that you have a right to shop for your mortgage. So if you get all your mortgage credit pulls done within a 7-day business time period, they only count as one inquiry on your credit. So you're not going to get dinged for all 7 of those credit pulls. It's just going to look like one credit pull. So make sure that you call around, shop around, look on Google, look for local lenders, look at their reviews. And the biggest thing you can do is ask your agent, ask who you're working with, because as an agent, we're dealing with lenders every single day. And we know who to use and who to avoid. Okay? Now, we may not say avoid so-and-so, but we will say you need to call such and such. What are we looking for in a lender? I'm looking for somebody who knows what they're doing. I don't want somebody who's only been in the business 2 years. I want somebody who has seen the changes in lending and has kept up with them and has experience. I want somebody who understands the deadlines that we're under. They know that contract as well as I do, and they're going to make sure that we meet our deadlines and we stay on track. I'm looking for somebody who can address a challenge head on. Oftentimes, you pull somebody's credit and you can tell, like, okay, this might be a problem with underwriting, or I've seen where they've asked for this in the past. And so we want a lender who's going to see those things and address them. And they may never come to fruition. It may just be that we've done the documentation for them and they didn't need it. But at least they were trying to be proactive in their approach. The last thing you're looking for is somebody who's going to get you to the closing table on time. The last thing you want to have to do, especially in a market where it's still a little bit competitive, is ask the seller for a closing extension because your lender couldn't meet the deadline of getting you closed on time. That's always a very stressful situation, and you want to try to avoid that. I did mortgages for 10 years before I got into the title business and then ultimately became a realtor myself. So as having done mortgages, I'm, pretty good at being able to talk to people, asking them certain questions to find out what their history is and to see if we're going to have any problems up front. So I've had people say, well, I filed for a bankruptcy 5 or 6 years ago and I'm just not going to be able to get a mortgage. Well, that's not true. I mean, most lenders after 2-3 years tops have programs out there for people who have had a bankruptcy. Get with an agent who can refer you to a good lender. And then you talk to that lender. You may not be comfortable with them. Your personalities may not match up. So find someone that you're comfortable with and that your agent says, yeah, they know what they're doing. A good lender can make or break the home buying process. Buying a home is very stressful. I did it last year and it brought back memories of how painful it can be for home buyers. So, you want to make sure that you make the process as stress-free as possible. So finding a good lender is the first step in doing that. If you need a recommendation for a good lender here in Morristown area, I'd be happy to refer you to someone. Just leave a comment or send me a DM and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. I'm Amy Schrader with RE/MAX Real Estate 10 in Morristown, Tennessee.